Unlocking your brain, the dopamine dilemma. What if I told you that every decision you make, what you eat, how you work, even your addictions, is controlled by one chemical in your brain? That's right, we're talking about dopamine, the neurotransmitter that's calling the shots in your head. It's the driving force behind pleasure, motivation, and reward. But here's the kicker. It's also the culprit behind addiction, procrastination, and that constant feeling of being unfulfilled. You scroll through Instagram, get a hit of dopamine with every like and comment. You binge on junk food, another dopamine surge. Video games, gambling, even shopping, they all tap into that same reward pathway in your brain, leaving you craving more, more, more. We're living in a world that's hijacking our dopamine systems, man. So what exactly is dopamine? Well, it's like this chemical messenger in your brain, right? It's a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in how we feel pleasure. It's firing off signals between neurons, telling your body what to do, how to feel. It's involved in reward, motivation, memory, attention, and even regulating body movements. And one of its main gigs is this whole reward and motivation thing. When you achieve something, dopamine is released, making you feel good and encouraging you to repeat the behavior. You see, back in the day when we were out there hunting and gathering, dopamine was essential for survival. It motivated us to seek out food, shelter, and mates. You found a berry bush, boom, dopamine surge. That rush of pleasure reinforced the behavior, making you more likely to forage again. You brought down a mammoth for the tribe, dopamine party in your brain. This reward system was crucial for our ancestors' survival. It's what kept us going, kept us striving, kept us alive. Dopamine was the driving force behind our efforts and achievements. But here's the thing, our brains are still wired like those ancient hunter-gatherers, even though our world has changed drastically. We no longer need to hunt for food, but our brains still crave that dopamine hit. We're not out there chasing gazelles anymore, but our brains still crave that dopamine hit. Now we get it from modern activities like using smartphones, social media, and playing video games. And now, instead of finding it in natural rewards like food and connection, we're getting it from all these artificial sources. Social media, video games, you name it. These activities provide quick and easy dopamine hits. Think of it like this. Dopamine is like fire. It's a powerful force that can be incredibly beneficial when used correctly. You need it, it's essential for life, but too much of it, and it burns everything down. An excess of dopamine can lead to problems like addiction and overstimulation, and that's what's happening in our society today. We're constantly bombarded with stimuli that trigger dopamine release, leading to an overload. We're drowning in dopamine, and it's frying our reward systems. Our brains are becoming less sensitive to it, requiring more and more to achieve the same level of pleasure. We're becoming desensitized to it, needing more and more to get that same hit, and it's leaving us feeling empty and unfulfilled. This constant need for stimulation is taking a toll on our mental health. It's like, imagine you're at a rock concert, right? The music's blasting, the crowd's going wild, and you're feeling that adrenaline rush. It's an exhilarating experience, but then you go to another concert the next night and another one after that. The novelty wears off and the same level of excitement just doesn't do it for you anymore. Pretty soon that same level of excitement just doesn't do it for you anymore. You need something louder, something crazier. To get that same feeling, you need something louder, something crazier to get that same feeling. This constant chase for more intense experiences is exhausting and unsustainable. We're constantly bombarding our brains with these super stimulating experiences. And it's making it harder and harder to find pleasure in the simple things. Activities that used to bring joy now seem dull in comparison. We're becoming addicted to the rush, man. This addiction to dopamine is affecting our ability to enjoy life's simple pleasures and maintain a balanced, healthy lifestyle. Let's talk about how our modern world is basically a giant dopamine farm, man. Everywhere you look, there's something designed to give you that little hit of pleasure. These tech companies, these app developers, they know exactly what they're doing. They're not just making apps, they're creating experiences that are hard to put down. They've got these brilliant minds, neuroscientists, behavioral psychologists, figuring out how to hack our brains, how to make us crave their products, how to keep us hooked on their products. It's a science, really. Think about social media, for example. It's not just a way to connect with friends, it's designed to be addictive. Every notification, every like, every comment triggers a little dopamine hit. It's a reward system. It's like a slot machine in your pocket, man. You never know when you'll get that next hit. You keep scrolling, you keep refreshing, always looking for that next bit of validation, hoping for that next hit of validation, that next little rush. It's a cycle, and it's not just social media, it's video games too. It's video games with their loot boxes and endless levels designed to keep you playing. It's streaming services auto-playing the next episode, making it hard to stop watching. It's food companies pumping their products full of sugar and fat. They know we can't resist. They're all playing to our primal instincts, our basic desires, our desire for instant gratification. We want it now and they give it to us. They're creating these feedback loops that keep us coming back for more, even when we know it's not good for us. It's a powerful cycle. Even when we know it's not good for us, it's like we're trapped. It's like we're rats in a cage, man, hitting that lever over and over again, hitting that lever over and over again, even though we know there's no real reward at the end of it. Even though we know there's no real reward at the end of it, it's a never-ending chase. And here's the thing, it's not entirely our fault. We're hardwired to seek out dopamine. We're hardwired to seek out dopamine. It's how we're designed, it's in our biology. But the problem is the game is rigged, man. The odds are stacked against us. These companies, they have access to technology and resources that we could only dream of. And resources that we could only dream of. They're using this to their advantage. They're using algorithms and data analysis to figure out exactly how to push our buttons, how to keep us engaged, how to make their products as addictive as possible. It's a well-oiled machine. But here's the good news. Once you understand the rules of the game, you can start to play it differently. You can take back control. So you're constantly chasing dopamine hits, right? It's like you're on this never-ending quest for that next little burst of pleasure. You're scrolling through social media, binge-watching Netflix, maybe hitting the sugar a little too hard. All these activities give you that quick dopamine rush, and you're getting those dopamine surges. You're feeling that temporary pleasure, but there's a dark side to this whole thing. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. See, when you're constantly bombarding your brain with dopamine, it's like your brain builds up a tolerance, just like with any drug. Your brain starts to need more and more to get that same effect. You need more and more of it to get that same high. It's a vicious cycle that keeps you coming back for more. And the things that used to excite you, the things that used to bring you joy, they just don't do it for you anymore. They lose their magic. You become desensitized to dopamine. And that's when things start to get really messed up. You find yourself in a state of constant dissatisfaction. Think about it like this. Remember the first time you tasted chocolate? That first bite was probably a revelation. It was probably amazing, right? A burst of flavor that lit up your taste buds, this explosion of flavor in your mouth. It was a moment of pure bliss. But now, if you eat chocolate every day, it's not as special. It becomes just another snack. You might even start to take it for granted. The magic fades away. That's what happens with dopamine. When you're constantly flooding your brain with it, you lose the ability to appreciate the simpler things in life. When you're constantly flooding your brain with it, you lose the ability to appreciate the simpler things in life. The things that used to bring you joy now seem mundane. The things that actually matter, genuine human connection, meaningful work, the feeling of accomplishment. These are the things that truly enrich our lives. This dopamine desensitization, it can manifest in your life in a lot of ways. It can affect your motivation, your mood, and even your overall sense of well-being. You might feel unmotivated, like you just can't get anything done. Tasks that used to be easy now feel like a chore. You might feel anxious or depressed, like something's missing, but you can't quite put your finger on it. It's a feeling of emptiness that can be hard to shake. All right, so by now you're probably thinking, this is heavy, Joe. I'm drowning in dopamine. I'm feeling desensitized. What the hell can I do about it? Don't worry, man, there's hope. You can reset your dopamine levels. You can break free from this cycle. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take some effort, but I promise you it's worth it. First things first, you've got to identify your dopamine triggers. What are the things that are hijacking your brain? Is it social media, video games, junk food? Once you know what they are, you can start to cut back. Now, I'm not saying you have to go cold turkey on everything, but start with small changes. Maybe instead of scrolling through Instagram for an hour before bed, you read a book for 20 minutes. Instead of binge-watching Netflix, you go for a walk in nature. Small changes can make a big difference over time. Another thing you can try is something called dopamine detox. Now, I know the word detox can sound a little out there, but it's not as crazy as it sounds. Basically, you pick a day or even just a few hours where you abstain from all your dopamine triggers. No phones, no computers, no TV, no junk food. Just you and your thoughts. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. You might feel bored, restless, even anxious. But push through it, man. Look, I get it. Changing your habits, breaking free from addiction, it's tough. But let me tell you, the benefits of a dopamine reset, they're life-changing. Seriously, it's like upgrading your brain from dial-up to fiber optic. First off, your focus, your attention span, it's going to skyrocket. Remember those days when you could actually sit down and read a book for hours on end without getting distracted? Yeah, that can be you again. You'll be more productive, more creative, more present in your life. You'll start to appreciate the simpler things again. The taste of your food, the feeling of the sun on your skin, the sound of laughter. Things that you might have taken for granted before will suddenly become more vibrant, more meaningful. And here's the kicker. You'll start to experience true happiness. Not the fleeting, superficial happiness that comes from a dopamine hit, but the deep, lasting happiness that comes from living a meaningful life. You'll have more control over your impulses. You'll be less reactive, less likely to get sucked into drama. You'll be more resilient in the face of challenges because you'll know that true fulfillment comes from within, not from external sources. I'm telling you, this dopamine stuff, it's no joke. It's affecting all of us. But the good news is we have the power to change it. We can break free from these addictive cycles and reclaim our lives. You know, I tried a dopamine detox for a week just to see what would happen. And let me tell you, the first couple of days were rough. I was restless, I was bored, I wanted to check my phone every 5 seconds. But I stuck with it, and man, I'm glad I did. By the end of the week, I felt calmer, more focused, more energized than I had in years. So here's my challenge to you. Try a dopamine detox for just 24 hours. You might be surprised by what you discover about yourself, about what truly brings